participate in that exercise. Sorry, I just got a notification or something. Right, so has anybody heard of the Wheel of Life? If you've heard of the Wheel of Life, can you just raise your hand? If you've heard of the Wheel of Life, has anybody ever heard of the Wheel of Life? Just raise your hand. Has anyone ever heard of the Wheel of Life, please? I really want it to be an engaging session. Just raise your hand. Has anyone ever heard of the Wheel of Life? Anyone? Anyone heard of the Wheel of Life? Okay, can we chat in the chat box? Okay, Elizabeth Lawrence says she has heard of the Wheel of Life. Any other person? Any other person heard of the Wheel of Life? Okay, right, all right. So please get a book and a biro, please. Get a book and a biro. You are going to, sorry, let me just see if I can get help here. Please, do I have members of ASAT? I'm guessing Elizabeth Lawrence, right? I'm making you pause. Please help me boss people in. Happiness Sobeche, please also help me boss people in. Awa Garuba, I'm making you pause. Help me boss people in too, please. I see a lot of people are trying to join in. So guys, this session I'm about to give you guys is worth 500K. I'm not joking. For those of you that take it seriously, I promise you that if you apply everything I'm about to teach you right now, it will allow you to see clarity. I know that what I'm about to say is tricky, right? You might have to make a decision to even leave some organizations that you are volunteering in. I'm telling you, you might have to leave because of what I'm about to teach you. Now, I'm not going to tell you this is where you should leave. I'm going to allow you use the system I want to teach you to make that decision. You might need to leave some relationships. You might need to leave the organization. You might need to stop certain things so that you can be more productive, right? So the exercise, I'm not going to tell you what to do, like tell you that leave this, leave that. The exercise, when you are honest with the exercise, you will need to make that decision yourself. Do you get what I'm saying? So please, if you have a book and a biro, kindly raise your hand just to confirm that you have it. If you have a book and a biro, just raise your hand just to confirm. Because once we start the exercise, if you don't participate, I cannot go back. Do you get what I'm saying? So I want to beg you that please, in case we're moving fast, you might need to watch the recap of this video on YouTube. Do you get what I'm saying? So please, all right. So let me share my screen quickly. Can everyone see my screen? Can everyone see my screen? Let me see if I can save this image. Can everyone see my screen? All right, yes. You know what? I'm going to try and see if I can attach this picture in the chat box. Let me see. So I'm going to try and attach the Wheel of Life in the chat box. So I've kept it in the chat box so you can download it. If you can download it, please do download it. I think another thing I'll do is to copy the picture somewhere. I know some people, okay. All right, can everyone see my screen? Quickly draw what you can see in my screen, right? You need to get it right. I will try and explain the diagram on the screen. Now draw a big circle, right? If you look at the screen, you can see physical environment, business/career, finances, health, family and friends, romance, personal growth, fun and recreation. I want you to draw your own, but make sure you get the screen right. You can take a screenshot. You need to be able to do the diagonals as is done on the screen, right? So that you can see that there are some diagonals that are done on the screen, such as you see from business. I don't know, just copy what you see on the screen on a big sheet, right? So draw a big circle. Make sure you do the arrows the way they are on the screen. I will give everyone 5 minutes to do this. While you are drawing the arrow, I want you to come up with straight lines in between and put some dash, dash, dash where you can see on the screen. And then you put 5, 10 there, but there needs to be numbers on that, right? So define that initial dot at the middle. Let me see, can I annotate? Okay, I think I can. I said I should use this whiteboard there. I say I know. Okay, so you see these dots in the middle, right? Will be 0. Then this thing will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? So you need to arrange it the way it is that way, guys, right? Can everyone drop their hand? Because I want to ask how many of us are done, because we need to move fast. We need to move fast. How many of us are done? How many of us are done? If you can all drop your hands first, so I can know those of us that are done. If you are done with the diagram, kindly raise your hand. If you are done with the diagram, kindly raise your hand. You get what I'm saying? If you are done with the diagram, all right, 3 people are done. Can we get more people to be done? Just to confirm, everyone can see the screen, right? Adiza, you can see the screen, right? Adiza, can you see the screen?
Yes, I have I didn't draw it because I just got the picture.
You need to also draw it because you're going to do an exercise. So please draw it. You're going to do an exercise. That picture will not allow you to do the exercise. You need to do the exercise that we're going to do. Sure you get. I just said you should download the picture so that you can practice the exercise later on. Do you get?
Okay, I'm on it.
All right, so everyone needs to draw it. Now, as everyone labeled it, so you put finances, health, family and friends, romance, personal growth, fun and recreation, okay? So I have to move on right now. So just a quick explanation of what you can see on the board, guys. So you realize that many of us right now, you are either working or you have a business. So you do not be ashamed to put information regarding the business/career. Have you heard? Then you have finances. Finances is in terms of how much is money that you feel like you don't need to work for the rest of your life again, like financial freedom to you. Your health is how you're doing health-wise, right? How is your health? Are you sick? Do you have any ailments, any disease? You don't need to tell me. Your family and friends is more of how often do you keep in touch with your family and your friends? Are you in touch with them? Do you connect with them? Your romance, if you're in a relationship, if you are single, obviously it's going to be 0. So don't lie. Your romance life, and I'm not trying to tackle anybody that is single, right? Your romance is more of your relationship with your partner. If you're married, if you're in a relationship, what level is it? We're going to get there. Your personal growth is how often you do like professional exams, certifications, training. Like for example, this is like a personal growth thing that we're doing now. Fun and recreation is how often do you relax? You know, do you swim? Do you find time to play? Your physical environment is also where you stay, right? So do you have security in your house where you stay and all of those things? Do you feel safe where you find yourself, basically, right? So can the rest of us just drop our hands? Because I want to be asking questions because of time. I can see 3 people's hands up. Can you drop it? Because I want to ask a question so I don't assume, right? All right, thank you. Now, my next question now is, does everybody understand everything that I've explained? Quickly, guys, we have 40 more minutes. I know that the session is so engaging, but we have to make do. If you understand everything I've said, kindly raise your hand so that we can begin the exercise. Kindly raise your hand if you understand everything that has been said, please. Only 2 people, 4. All right. Now, what I want you to do now is this, guys. I cannot see your paper. You know, my dad used to say something to me that, you know, you can deceive other people, but don't deceive yourself. Now, I want you to go on that paper. Your business and career, what level is it at? From 0 to 100, 10 being 100. So put it there. If you feel your career is at 20% or 2, for the purpose, since we're using this diagram, on a scale of 1 to 10, where's your business/career at? Don't need to write anything on the chat box. So put it there. Is it 0? Is it 2? Is it 5? Is it 9? Is it 10? Put a mark there. Just put a mark. At the end of the day, we're going to do hit signature. So put a mark. Your business and career, is it at 8? Is it at 5? Is it at 10? Is it at 0? Put it there. Same thing with your finances. What level is your finances at? Put it there. On a scale of 0 to 10, what level is your finances at? Put it there on a scale of 0 to 10. What level is your finances at? Please, don't deceive yourself. Do you get what I'm saying? Don't deceive yourself. So same thing with every other thing. On a scale of 0 to 10, what level is your health at? Are you taking care of your health? Are you eating well? Are you always in the hospital? Put it there. On a scale of 0 to 10, your family and friends, do you spend time with your family and friends? Do you check up on them? Do you connect with your friends, or you're just focused on your career? Put it there. So put it there. I'm not saying write it down. There's something you need to see. So if you don't listen to what I'm saying, you make a mistake, right? So put a dot there. Your romance life, are you single? Do you have any romantic person? Put it there. On a scale of 0 to 10, put it there. Your personal growth. Have you been intentional about your personal growth? On a scale of 0 to 10, put it there. Right? Fun and recreation. Do you go out to relax? Do you find time to rejuvenate yourself? On a scale of 0 to 10, put it there. Where you currently stay, right? Your house, do you feel safe there? Are you happy with your apartment? Are you happy with your physical environment? On a scale of 0 to 10, put it there. So let's quickly do that. I'll wait for 60 more seconds for us to do that. Quickly. So quickly just put dots there, right? I want to ask another question. Can all of us drop our hands now so that I can ask the question, please? Can everyone drop their hands? I want to ask a question. So is this hand signature on? Okay. How many of us are done with itemizing all of these things? Raise your hand if you are done. Apologies, I know that we're moving fast. If you are done, can you just raise your hand if you are done? All right. Now, what I want you to do for me is this. I want you to connect the dots. What am I saying? So for example, now let's imagine someone's business career is 9. So that means there's a dot at 9. Draw a line from 9 and take that 9 to where your finances is. I mean, it will not make sense that your career is at 9 and then your finances is on 0. Sure, you get it. Not gonna make sense now. I'm sure you agree with me. So wherever your business career is, say your business career is 9, then you take it to your finance. Let's imagine finance is, let me show you guys on the screen. So let's imagine, can you guys still see my screen? Let's imagine my career is 9. I'm taking it down to finance 9, right? Then my health, let's imagine my health is 9. Then maybe family and friends, I've not been checking up on them. It is 6. Then my romance is currently 0, right? I'm single to stupor. So you put it there, right? You draw it from romance being 0. I'm just giving an example. You take it up to your personal growth. Let's say your personal growth is at 5, connect it there. Then fun and recreation, if it's 2, you bring it down to 2. Sorry, let me just, I know some people might still be confused. So let me just try and quickly do this. So this is how it should look like from here to here to here. Then I'm coming here. Let's say here. At the end of the day, yeah. So you realize that the signature will be around here, right? So this person's signature now will be around here and all of those things, basically, right? Does everybody understand what I'm saying? Kindly raise your hand if you understand everything that I've said. Can you raise your hand, please? If you understand everything that I've said, kindly raise your hand. You understand everything that I've said, kindly raise your hand. All right, 20 people understand, okay? Now, can everybody drop their hands, right? I want to be able to maximize the time. Please drop your hands. Now, how many of us are done with the heat signature? How many of us are done with the heat signature? If you are done with the heat signature, please, I need 20 people to be done. You are done with the heat signature. So that I can use the remaining time to just talk. Then you can make a decision yourself, right? While I'm waiting for hands to be up, guys, do not feel bad, right? And also, you need to know that the reflection of this exercise, some of us can also increase this exercise. For example, now, maybe for some people, personal growth is volunteering, right? So in subsequent exercises, you can replace personal growth with volunteering if you want. Do you get? You can easily replace all of these things so that you can be able to work on it, right? So how many of us are done? 11 people are done. If you are done, kindly raise your hand, please. If you are done, kindly raise your hand. All right, okay. All right, guys. So now I'm going to ask some personal questions. All right, so drop your hands now. I'm going to ask some personal questions now. Can everybody drop their hands? Drop your hands, please. Drop your hands. All right. If for business and career, if you know your business and career is currently between 7 to 10, can you raise your hand, please? If you know your business and career, okay, you know what? Maybe some people are shy. Okay, business and career, 7 to 10, can you raise your hand? Business and career, 7 to 10, can you raise your hand? Don't worry, nobody is, I'm not going to track you or anything. Only one person. Don't be shy, I'm not judging you. Your business to career, if you know it's between 7 to 10, kindly raise your hand. All right, 2 people's business and career, okay, good. If you know your final, okay, this part might be tricky. So people might not want anybody to know. Okay. If you know, okay, let me skip finances, that's personal. Your health, if your health is between 7 to 10, can you raise your hand, please? Your health between 7 to 10. Your health, 7 to 10. All right, that's good. All right. Family and friends, you stay in touch with family and friends. If it is between 7 to 10, can you raise your hand, please? 7 to 10, family and friends, 7 to 10. Okay, interesting. All right. All right, your romance life, if your romance is between 7 to 10, can you raise your hand? Can you raise your hand? Your romance life is 7 to 10. Seems like the number is dropping here. Most of us are very single. So 7 to 10, your romance life, okay. Personal growth between 7 to 10. Raise your hand. Fun and recreation, 7 to 10, fun and recreation. I mean, I would like to hang out with you guys for fun and recreation. So if you are between 7 to 10 for fun, you know, say you don't really go out to relax. If you know you don't, drop your hand. Don't lie. All right, physical environment, 7 to 10. Okay, now we're done. Can everybody drop their hands? So I will just do one more exercise around, then I will just talk and explain some things. Everybody drop their hands. If you know out of this box now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 boxes. If you have 8 out of these 8 boxes, if you know that you're between 7 to 10 in all of these 8, can you raise your hand, please? Is anybody that has 7 to, wow, all 8, you have between 7 to 10, all 8. Yeah, no, nice. I'm really proud of you. You guys take this class. Nice. Adaeze said 7 to 10 to, how many people do we have? All of these 8 boxes, you are between the frequency of 7 to 10. All of this frequency. All right, just 2 people. Okay. How many people? 7 boxes. 7 boxes out of all these 8. At least 7, you are between 7 to 10 out of all of these 8. For 7, okay. How many of us for 6? At least 6, you are between 7. 6 boxes, you are between 7 to 10. 6. All right, how many of us for 5? At least 5. You are between 7 to 10 for 5 of the boxes. At least for 5. All right, how many of us at least for 4? You are between 7 to 10 for 4. For at least 4. All right, how many of us for 3? You are between 7 to 10 for 3. How many of us for 2? You are between 7 to 10 for 2. For at least 2. How many of us for 1 at least? You are between 7 to 10. All hands should be up now for this one. At least 1. 1, at least 1. 1, at least 1. Okay, can everybody drop their hands? Because I want to ask a very question now. How many of us are below 5? Okay, sorry, maybe the question is there anybody that doesn't have at least above 5 in any one? If you know you are here, you don't have above 5 in any one, above 5 in any one. Okay, so, all right, we have a few hands, you don't have above 5, meaning the numbers are below 5. Okay, all right, guys. Okay, thank you so much. I have 29 more minutes. Okay, guys, so don't feel bad, right? So I'm going to explain something to everyone. The essence of this exercise is to allow you see where you focus your attention to. First of all, Adaeze and Yano, I don't know how you are doing it, but kudos to you. I don't want the rest of us to feel intimidated. Now, the essence of this exercise is to show you, you realize that for those of you, okay, let me ask, does anybody have 10 anywhere? How many of us have 10? Does anybody have 10 anywhere? If you have 10 anywhere, can you raise your hand, please? If you have 10 anywhere, raise your hand. Okay. Sorry, I have to go to the chat box. For those of us that have 10, can you tell me where you have 10? Just chat it. Can you tell me where you have 10, please? Just put it in the chat box. Where do you have 10? I hope you guys are getting the exercise. We'll soon be done with the class. It's not a, all right, family and friends, Mercy has 10. Awesome, that's good. All right, family, okay, family, everyone has 10, family and friends. Nice, nice, all right. Nobody get 10 for finance. If Gloria has 10, have fun. All right, thank you very much. All right, guys, so basically what this exercise shows you is this, right? You realize that there are some boxes that affect the other boxes. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. Do you get? So for example, now let's use your health. Realize that for those of you that your health is between 7 to 10, you realize that because your health is good, you will have more energy to give to your business and career. You will have more energy to give to family and friends. You will have more energy to give to romance. You also have energy to your personal development and energy to fun and recreation because your health is good. Do you get what I'm saying? Because you have money, finances, you can afford to influence your personal growth by paying for certifications. You can afford to even take care of your partner. You can afford to take care of your family because your finances are good, right? I hope you get what I'm trying to say, right? Because you stay in a conducive environment, you are able to think clearly. Your mental health is good. Do you get? You are able to do other things, start up businesses, do stuff, and all of those things. I don't think anybody here will be happy if their family was not good and they don't even have money to take care of the family, right? You'll feel sad. But I think, most times you can have situations where you have money, but you intentionally do not take care of your family or your partner. I'm not saying it is good, but it's still a good problem to be in that situation. Now, the essence of this exercise was to reflect from time to time. So for those of us that have below zero, you realize that there's a popular saying that your energy flows to where you give attention to. So what that means is that for those of you that are career-driven, business-driven, for your business with 7 to 10, do you get what I'm saying? Usually, your business and career would match your finances level. Do you get what I'm saying? So do we have people that, for those of us that our business and career are 7 to 10, and can you confirm that your finances are also between 7 to 10 as well, in terms of what comes in? If you know that your business career is 7 to 10 and finances too is 7 to 10, can you raise your hand? Like business and finance, 7 to 10, 7 to 10. How many of us? 7 to 10, 7 to 10, 7 to 10. All right, so you see that they are at par, right? Because you are focusing your energy on that particular sector. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's the same thing. So the trick is this. For those of us that have, okay, let me use Iyanu. Iyanu is the one that says she has between 7 to 10 all the way. So Iyanu is well balanced, right? So she has, the goal of this exercise to be at Iyanu's level, where you are between 7 to 10 in everything, right? The truth is that nobody can be at 10 everywhere. It's impossible. But what you do is you want to be able to shift your energy at different times. What does that mean? The whole idea of getting successful in your career and business is so that you can have money and retire on time. Imagine retiring at the age of 30, 40, 50, right? So that you can be able to start up a business, so that you don't need to worry about money. Because the whole idea of anyone who do business and career is to up their finances. I'm sure we all agree with that. Do we all agree with that? Can you raise your hand if you agree with that? The most times when anyone would do business or chase their career is to increase their finances. You all agree, right? 8 of us agree. So if you get it right in your career pinnacle, your finances will be good, right? And the truth is that money buys time. What does it mean? Because you have money, you can afford to increase your romance and family and friends. You get to spend more time with your kids, your family, right? Because when your business and career is there, your family sometimes will suffer. Some of us that grew up in Nigeria, because your parents were chasing business and career, they did not really spend time with family, right? So many of us can relate, right? Can we relate to that? Can you raise your hand if you can relate? We're not trying to go against our parents. Do we agree? Because our parents were focused on business and career, they didn't really have time to spend time with family. Many of us sort of had resentment, but those of us now that are now working, you can now understand what mommy and daddy had to do growing up. You yourself, you are doing it now. You are chasing the money, all of those things. Do you get? So like I said, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just explaining something to you for you to make a decision. So realize that if you get your business and career-wise, your finances will do well. Once your finances do well, you can influence other things. If you are not feeling fine, you don't have money, you can't take care of yourself. But sometimes we all agree that in doing this business and career, our health suffers. Do we agree with that? If you agree with that, this business and career sometimes affects our health. Can you raise your hand if you agree? Realize that this business and health affects our health, right? The health level will go down. And so what happens is that, people are retiring and they end up using, God forbid, they will not make so much money that we cannot even spend it, and then we are using it to treat health disease, health issues, right? So I just wanted you to see that you have to be able to find balance. So every single one of you that is below 5, you need to work to go above 5. So what you will do is this, right? If you realize that your career is at, say, 10, your finance is at 10, you can tone it down a notch. Try and see how you can start reducing your energy from your business and career for a period of time to still be within that 7 to 10. If you drop and back, but don't let it reach 5. Do you get? Then see how you can use your finances to do business so that at the end of the day, you can stop the career bits. Let the business be able to work with the right structure and system. You also want to make sure that your health is at 7 minimum. You want to be good. So you need to do exercise, recreational activities, fun. So you realize that, can you see that fun and recreation and health, they are facing opposite sides. So you want to be able to, because the more fun you have, the more you do recreational activities, your health is good and all of those things. And right, if you have the right partner, for those of us that are married, right, Yanu, I'm sure you can testify that your husband, your family, they are making you have peace of mind, right? For those of us that are in good relationships, can you say your relationship sort of supports and encourages? I'm not trying to pepper the single people here, please. For those of us that our romance level are between 7 to 10, can you confirm whether your romance level sort of influences your, what's it called? Influences you, like in terms of your career, your finances, your physical environment, your fun and recreation? I just want to know. Okay, 4 people are saying that yes, their romance helps them, right? For those of us that your romance level is below 5, you don't need to talk too much. You know what you're dealing with, right? Like I said, you need to make a decision. My own is just to explain this thing to you. You realize for those of you that have your romance level is, you're not happy in the relationship, you're not thinking well. If you're a guy, you're spending money on someone that, you're not happy, person is not satisfied, you're working hard, and you realize that because of that zeal to please whoever that person is, it's affecting your mood, it's affecting your mental health, it's affecting your personal development. Your health is being affected, emotional and all of those things, right? So you want to be able to get the romance right so that you can also get the family right. For some of us, in as much as we don't even have everything settled, for those of us that have family, that 10, can we confirm, for those of us that 10 are family, we can say that we somewhat get support in other areas, right? Be it, what's it called, fun and recreation with family, physical environment with family, finances sometime with family, health sometime with family. So how many of us can agree that our family and friends, for those of us between 7 to 10, sort of compensate and help us with fun and recreation with them, physical environment, our finances sometimes, and health? Do we have hands up that can testify to that, right? So you see that everything is interrelated. Now, coming down to the matter of what we are doing in terms of finding balance, that I will touch on the volunteering aspect. Most of these things that I've done right now, they come with unspoken rules. Unspoken rules, for those of us that volunteer or work with either of the organizations that I'm part of, we have JD. So that JD now tells you what you're supposed to do. But some of these things, there's no JD in terms of how to manage romance. I can't give you the JD of how to get your romance at 10. I can't give you a JD of how to manage your family and friends at 10. I can't give you a JD of how to manage your health. I can't give you a JD of how to manage your finances, your business. I can't, but they exist. And there are certain structures that you need to follow that can make your career get to 10. I don't know, for those of us that are career between 7, do you agree with that statement? I mean, you guys are the ones that are doing it now. Do you agree that there are systems and structures you followed that has allowed your business and career to get to 7 to 10? Can I have hands up that there are some systems, structures that you have followed that has allowed you to get to 7 to 10 for your business and career? All right, 4 people can. So it's the same thing. There are structures you need to follow in finance. Some people earn 500K, 1 million naira per month, but at the end of the month, they have 50K left because they've not gotten that finance thing well. They don't know how to manage money. They don't know how to manage resources. As they get the money they're spending, the same thing with health. Many of us eat junk food. We don't take care of our health. You have all the money, you don't take care of your health. Your body will suffer for it. right? Now there's diabetes and all of those things. It's your choice. What you eat affects you, right? Same thing with family and friends. Many of us, for those that are not in good terms with their family, realize that, because the truth is that no matter how people misbehave, family will always be there for you. Family will always be there for you. Family and friends, there are friends that stick closer than a brother. Many of us can testify to there are some friendships that have saved us, either financially, when you were in trouble, you were in a difficult situation. For example, I just got a call this night now from a friend that I've not spoken to in a while. The person was accosted, right, by the police, and I had to make a few calls so that they could get the person out. Please, this is not an invitation that if you get accosted by police, you should call me, by the way. I'm just putting that out there, right? Your friends come through for you, even more than family. So there are systems, right? And the thing about relationship is, if you don't check, relationship is a two-way street. If you're not checking on the person, you're not following up with the person, it will die. Out of sight is out of mind. For any relationship to work, communication is at the center. So there are systems and structure for that. Same thing with romance. You need to understand the 5 love languages. Same thing with personal growth. If you're not studying, for example, now many of us, because you studied in school, a particular course. Many of us know that everybody hears what you studied in school is what you are doing now. So can anyone hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I asked the question. Many of us, what we studied in school is not what we are doing now, like in terms of our career. Like you have people that studied medicine, but they are bankers right now. Are people tired? Okay, yeah. So you realize that with personal growth, you have to keep studying, you have to keep learning. Like I said, guys, I'm a lawyer, right? I studied law. Well, I'm now a project manager. That's why I make money from project management at the moment. Do you hear what I'm saying? So I'm not making money from being a lawyer. I have to reinvent myself. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's the situation, right? And that's the thing about personal growth, being able to learn. Same thing, what's a lawyer having to do with mental health, right? I had to learn, I had to study, right? So you need to invest in yourself. How many of us can testify that when you invest in personal growth, your finances increase? Do we have living testimonies of that? Can you raise your hand? For those of us that have invested in personal growth that has allowed your finances to increase, do we have people that can relate to that? Has that helped you in terms of your personal growth? All right, you have people. So realize that if you invest in your personal growth, your finances will increase. You can bargain at interviews, can make decisions, can change your career, you have more money, you can influence your physical environment. If you want to buy a house, you can buy a house. If you want to do your fun and recreation in Dubai, you can do it in Dubai. Sure, you get. There are levels to fun and recreation. Right now, this can be fun and recreation. We can play a game now. But some people can just say, I want to go to Italy to lick ice cream and come back. I want to just enter my private jet to go to my house on the island. Sure, you get what I'm saying? So you work on your personal growth, this thing shifts. But like I said, there are structures and systems to it. In some companies, the HR system is focused on personal growth, certifications you should take, so that these things can influence all of these things. Yeah? Now, everything I've said, like I said, you need to make a decision. I'm not telling you what to do. You need to make a decision. And that decision is the areas that are low, what do you want to do to increase it? What are the rules and modalities to increase it? So what I would advise you guys to do is maybe reflect, try and click the link. I don't know if I'm still on live on YouTube. Maybe reflect, think about everything that has been said, study, go online. You can even ask ChatGPT, what can I do to boost my particular business? What can I do to improve my career? What can I do to improve my finances? What personal growth can I do that can improve my finances? What can I do to take my health seriously? Like, what do I need to eat? What do I need to do to improve my relationship with my friends? What do I need to do to improve my relationship with my partner? What kind of fun and recreational activities can I do? Same thing with physical environment. Now, because of everything I've said, all finances left, some people 7 to 10 is relative. Some people 7 to 10 for them can be 100K, 500K, 1 million, 20 million, 100 million, 1 billion. Sure, you get. There are levels to these things. Same thing with business and career. What some people will feel like 7 to 10 for them is based on the level of knowledge that they have. Do you get what I'm saying? So everyone, well, you can only improve based on understanding this matrix. So this wheel is called the wheel of life, right? So please don't forget it. You want to ask the right questions. There's no such thing as, there's no stupid answer and all of those things. So because of time, I will still throw in some other time, but I also want to talk about something. Now, when it comes to volunteering, right, which is one of the cause of this session, right? So for example, for me, right, I've been in the humanitarian space for 10 years and I've had to work with volunteers and I don't pay them, right? We can't afford to pay them at the moment. So I think I have to take responsibility for that, for not putting in work to structure the organization to start paying people, just because I've not had time to focus on that. And so what I decided to do was, come up with a structure, right? With people, look at some of the issues that happened in the past so that people can understand. The same way you have structure and systems for this wheel of life is the same way most organizations have structures and systems. Now, I want to talk to the people that their career is 7 to 10, right? So please, if you know you're on this call and you've had to work in 3 or 4 companies in terms of business and career, can you raise your hand, please? If you've had to work for 3 or 4 companies in the last 5 years or 10 years of your life, can you raise your hand, please? Like 3 or 4 companies. All right. So Iyanu, please, I'm going to allow you to unmute, please, because I want to ask you some questions. So can you unmute your mic? I want to ask you some questions, Iyanu. All right, so Iyanu, please, I want to ask you a question. In terms of the structure of these 4 organizations that you've worked with, would you say there were differences across all 4 organizations, or all the structures and systems were the same in your experience?
I would actually say my first 2 were relatively the same, but the 3rd and 4th were all different.
Okay, they were, all right. But did you have issues with some of the systems, but maybe the management did not answer you, or you could not really make changes, but you also understood why they were doing what they were doing?
Yes. With my last, that was one of the reasons why I actually left my last, yes.
Yeah, because you didn't like some of the things that were happening there, right?
Yeah, I understood why, because I was kind of closer to my boss, so I understood what was going on. It wasn't, the focus wasn't there for personal growth, so I just had to.
All right. So for you, you saw that you're not going to be able to achieve your personal growth, right? I'm happy you said that.
Yes,
so for that's why you had to move. All right.
Yes.
So now, yeah, thank you very much. That's what I wanted. So guys, so what I'm about to say now is funny, right? Because I'm concerned about people. Many people don't know this. And so if you are volunteering for any organization or you are working somewhere, you need to ask yourself, according to this wheel of life, what do you want to achieve? Say, for example, now you're volunteering for ASADS or EI. How does this align with your wheel of life, your core values? Does ASADS help you with your personal growth? Does EI help you with your personal growth? Does Growing with God help you with your personal growth? Whichever the organization is, does it align with your personal growth? Because if it aligns with your personal growth, then you'll be able to give the required energy there. So what I'm saying is, or is it a fun and recreational activity for you? Maybe it is for some people volunteering, or whatever it is. Does it help your romance? Does it help your finances? Does it help your career projection? I don't know what it is, but you need to be able to tie whatever you are doing to your own. You also need to have core values. What are your core values, right? And so when you are joining an organization, don't just do something because people are doing it. Know why you are doing it. So for those of us volunteering with EI and ASADS, you need to ask yourself, why are you volunteering in this organization? Right? Or whichever organization you volunteer, because I want to touch on that before we now take question and answers, right? Which is, what are you getting from it? Some of you might volunteer because, maybe I should start with myself. Why did I start ASADS? I used to be suicidal and depressed 2017. I wanted to kill myself. I wanted to end it all, right? And I was able to come out of it through the help of God. This is me. And in coming out of it spiritually, my faith is a big deal to me. Like, God speaking to me, I started to start a group. I didn't have experience how to learn, how to rough it. I made a lot of mistakes. And hence we came up with the structure and the system. I failed a lot of times on that journey. Same thing with EI. Why did we start EI? I was curious. I wanted to go to an orphanage. I'd never been there before. started it, hence created the structure for that, right? And we moved. Yeah. Now the structure I had to create now also understood that when I first started, I was a student, so I had time. Do you get what I'm saying? But now I'm working, there's a lot going on, hence the need to review the structure and reinvent ourselves. When we first started, it was easy for me to call out the volunteers one by one, take them out. It was easy. Do you guys get what I'm saying? But right now, we're growing. The same way many of your business, for those of us that are growing. So what I'm saying is, and in touching on what Iano spoke about, is every organization has the way they do things. At the level that I am right now, I don't like to deceive people. Where I currently work, let's imagine this was a work day like tomorrow now. I could get a call telling me that, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. I can't literally plan myself in a way because anything can come on my decks. And so what we decided to do in here and in ASADS and here, for example, was we came up with a calendar for the whole year for people. I don't know of any other volunteer organization that has a calendar for the year for their volunteers. What does that mean? You know what you're meant to do for a whole year. You even know down to the time for your meetings for the whole year. Do you get what I'm saying? And so we have tried as an organization to make this plain. Before you also join us, we send you a 1 hour recording to understand the purpose of the organization and also understand the structure of the organization and how we do things. So for example, both here and ourselves, we work on WhatsApp. If you're not a WhatsApp person, you will struggle to volunteer in here and ourselves, even if you have the arts. And there's another point where we need to be honest with ourselves. So for example, you can't volunteer effectively in this organization if you want to join the secretariat department and you don't have a laptop, for example. You don't know how to draft minutes of meeting. You can't volunteer effectively in the HR department if you don't know how to use Google Doc, right? God forbid, guys, if I came on this group, guys, one of our member or a particular person needs 40 million naira to do a surgery. I know that everybody wants to help that person. But the question now is this: do we have the money to help the person? Do we have the capacity to help the person? What am I trying to say? I know many of us, we genuinely want to volunteer. We genuinely want to do good work. But another thing in here and ASADS that we understood was this: we need people to give us their time. Back to this wheel of life, if your business and career is going to progress up, you have to sacrifice time to build it. If your finances is going to go up, you have to sacrifice time to build it. It's going to take time, skill, mistakes, learning, connecting. Same thing with all these things. You need time to get a good place. You need time to plan for your fun and recreation. You need time to read and study for your personal. Same thing. In ER and ASADS, we need people, volunteers, to sacrifice their time. I think it is wrong for us to manipulate people to sacrifice their time. I think it is wrong for us to force people to sacrifice their time. But it's a different thing entirely if ER and ASADS was still at the level it was when we started before. What am I trying to say? You have a calendar for the year. You know the activities for the year. You know the time for your meetings for the year. You have access to the HR. There's a structure. There's a commitment form. You can choose to volunteer for 3 months, 6 months. You can plan yourself. But the reason I talk about the orchestral style of leadership for those of us that have ever encountered me before, because what it's trying to say is that there has to be a flow. So for example, the system in ASADS and EI is that we want at least 5 people in each team to be able to do the same thing. So imagine now you're supposed to give us 2 hours of your time every day. What that means is that if you have 5 active people in a department, for example, they will produce a workforce of 10 hours per day. EI and ASADS will never ask you to do a task by 8 a.m. in the morning and submit that same day, except it's an emergency situation. No. And so you need to ask yourself, why are you volunteering in this organization? We know that some people come because of certificates, reference, and all of. They're not bad people, but do your time. You know the system of the organization. If it's that you joined us and the HR did not give you the 1 hour recording, just imagine the scenario. You applied, we just add you to the groups. We don't give you orientation, we don't do all of those things. But many times, many of you, you don't read WhatsApp messages, you don't reply your tags, you disrespect the system by not reading the messages, right? You choose to ignore what they do. So take, for example, in ASADS, every 40 seconds, someone takes their life globally. Every year, 800,000 people die by suicide. If you are someone that does not believe in this, you will struggle. If you're not a mental health advocate, you will struggle. You will not see the reason why you should share your flyer, why you should donate your person. Think about it. I also ask myself, why should my volunteers donate their personal money? Why should you do it? The only reason why you're going to donate your personal money to a cause that any of these organizations, whether it is Asadi or wherever, is because you believe in it. The only reason you're going to give your time and energy to it is because you believe in it. You can't support something you don't believe in. And that's why many of us are conflicted. Because if you say you love something or you love someone, you will put in work. And that's why I'm going to shift gear now. Please, I want to ask, Iyanu, sorry, let me ask someone else. Ada, you rose up your hand. Please, let me just ask, Iyanu, are you still on the call? Iyanu, are you still on the call? Is Iyanu still on the call? Okay, let me ask you to unmute. Iyanu, I'm asking you to unmute, please. I want to ask you another question. Please, I want to ask you, in the process of getting your business, career, and finances to 7 to 10, were there days where you didn't feel like doing it, but you just had to push through? Were there days you didn't feel like putting in work, or you just had to push?
A lot. Even as it is now, there are still days that, you just don't feel like it. But because I have to consciously encourage myself and let myself know that this is the goal, this is the target. I have to keep pushing myself, even on days that I feel up to it. Though at times I give myself room for slack, like a bit of like, okay, let me just relax this day and come back to it the next day.
Yeah, so that means there have been times where you have to encourage yourself by yourself.
Yes.
Even when you don't feel like.
Yes,
right?
Definitely. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. So guys, I'm not going to lie to you, right? Personally, when I have to deal with the volunteering aspect, there are days I don't feel like showing up. But I ask myself, Dari, why are you doing this? If, for instance, someone sent me a message in the night that, oh, someone was suicidal, and I was hurt, like, you're in the group. I want to provide a platform for people to use it, right? Now me start up, I will have to be willing to pay the price. So same thing in terms of everything I've said. If you want your finances to go up, the question is, are you willing to pay the price for it? Is your money? Are you willing to make the price to increase your finances to get to 10? Are you willing to make the sacrifices to get your business and career to get to 10? Are you willing to pay the prices to get fun and recreation to get to 10? Some of us, we make our fun and recreation suffer so that, I mean, the truth is that some things will suffer. I'm sure many of us can agree that sometimes, family and friends have to suffer so that business and finances could go up for our families. It's normal. But the question is, like Iyanu said, and many of us agree, you have a goal. The goal is to get money, make sure your health is good, take care of your family, take care of your partner, relax, have a good place. There's a goal. Now you know the goal. I don't know what that goal is. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's the same thing. Any organization you join, they have a goal. Do you know where they are going? So whether you volunteer in Iyanu Asad, we have a goal. We know where we are going. The truth is that not everybody will support you. I'm sure many of us can testify that for those of us that your career path 7 to 10, maybe you had friends you started with, all of a sudden now you've passed them. It's not like you are proud or you're rubbing it off on them, but maybe you just saw that they were not willing to pay the price for them to get to that level. And that's not you. You're not a bad person. But I'm sure you can also, I'm sure all of us we have, for those of us your finances 7 to 10, you still support your friends and all of those things. Do you get what I'm saying? Which is not a bad thing, right? But just to wrap up the decision, like, don't join a place, don't join any relationship, any organization that doesn't align with your personal growth, your core values, and also ask yourself, are you willing to pay the price for this platform? Like, I'm just using Iyanu Asad for example. It could be other organizations, because we've come a long way in Iyanu Asad in terms of what we are trying to do, right? And we're trying to normalize the system. It's a different thing if you don't know this system, but you know this system. Don't come and abuse it and want us to keep quiet. And I decided to have this session because a lot of people were removed recently and they were complaining. And I was telling my HR that I can't remove someone that has been working and there's evidence for it. Do you get what I'm saying? There are systems. For example, you need to communicate, because it's not an orientation. You know everything, but you abuse the system. And then people are very quick to say, oh, this thing, no. You know, this is how they do things to get these results. If you're not interested, don't join. Do you get what I'm saying? Right? And just like this wheel of life, if you don't put in work in your business and career for a period of time, it will drop down. Many of the things we're studying in school now, the world has evolved. You don't need to go to school to become a data analyst now or go into tech. Nobody's going to ask you, do you have first class or second class? It's more of like, do you have the knowledge, do you have the experience and all of those things. So I'm begging you, whether you've been removed, you've not been removed, or you'll be removed in the future from here and Assad, are you doing what you're supposed to do? Nobody will see something working and then come and disrupt it now. It's madness now. You can't see something working and they are complaining. Nobody will know. Nobody does that. If something is working, nobody's going to complain that it is working. So you will know whether your business and career is working, your finances is working, your health is working, family and friends, you know, you have the results in your paper. I can't see it. The same way me too, I will know whether my organization is working. For example, I can tell you it's not working, because we don't have, okay, it's working, right? But in terms of our finances in here and Assad, our finances is low. Sure you get. I can see that the finances in terms of manpower is low. I can see it. So it's my responsibility to try and bring it up. Me myself, I have this wheel of life. I can't feel I'm too. Sure you get what I'm saying. So I'm also just begging you, please, for those that might have been removed, there's no need to beg and say, I'm sorry, I will change. No, forget it. You are not, just take some time out, figure your wheel of life. Maybe next year, sometime else, you can try and reapply if you now understand it. But when you believe in something, you would give your heart to it. Nobody needs to force you or manipulate you to do something. Sure you get, right? Also communicate, right? Most organizations, when there's an issue, they escalate to HR, right? Because of the term. So quickly, thank you so much, guys. I don't know if we have questions. So what I will do is, I think everyone can drop their hands. So if you have questions, we just take the questions. Oh, I think I should just ask, please, if you enjoyed the session, can I just get some feedback in the chat box, please? Was the session enlightening? Did you enjoy it? Was it good? I can just get some feedback in the chat box. Was it worth your time or it wasn't worth your time? Okay, Adiza says wonderful session. I just want to get feedback. Okay, Awa says interesting. All right. All right, what's it? All right, thank you. Did this session, yeah. Okay, someone says I did this session and it really helped me. Yeah, I really apologize, guys. I've been super busy. There are a lot of knowledge that I have access to in the last 10 years that I suppose write book, but I've just been super busy, and that's why I just said to do this session, so that when decisions are taken, people need to understand the reason behind it. Do you get? Say on the scale of 1 to 8, thank you. But please, my goal is not to excite you. My goal is to see how you guys will be successful in the next 1 year, 6 months from applying this. Another thing I didn't talk about is that you also want to be careful with your association, which is another thing I'm particular. For me now, I am very particular about my leaders. I need to be particular about my leaders because my organization, I've experienced people just coming, people do things anyhow. Do you get what I'm saying? I went out the day first day and I got a comment from another founder that said, oh, I've been looking at your organization. You guys are so structured. And I was happy. Like, people see it. For those of us that watch football, you saw what Guardiola did. He doesn't play the ball, but he has a mindset. Do you get? So you need to be careful of your associations, the kind of conversations you have. In April 3rd, I wrote my professional exam on PMP, and I had 3 weeks to that exam. And I asked a few friends that, oh, I want to do 10 hours per day to read. They said, oh, Dari, that's crazy. You can't do it. You can't do that. And I asked one of my friends, she said, Dari, you should do more than 10 hours. I challenged myself, guys, guess what? I was doing a minimum of 10 hours per day for 3 weeks. I'm not advising anyone to do it though. I did a minimum of 10 hours per day for 3 weeks. Sometimes I'll read for 20 hours non-stop, and I passed my exam within 3 weeks. I paid the price. Was it convenient? No, it wasn't convenient. Will I like to go through that experience again? I wouldn't want to do that because I had an option to have read 2 hours per day, not to put myself under that kind of pressure. Some people like that pressure. Nothing you want to achieve in life is going to come. Yes, there's the grace of God, there's favor, but you also have to put in work, right? You want to identify people that align with you. Do the will of life. You see your finances is low. What are the habits that you are doing that is making your finances low? Once you get money, you don't budget, you just spend it. There are rules to these things. Do you get what I'm saying? It's your choice. It's your choice. I've said all of these things. You have a choice to say, I will listen, I won't listen. It's not me. Do you get? It's your choice. But as you heard from those that said their finances and career is between 7 to 10, they know it's like me trying to imagine Ronaldo writing a book on how to play football at the age of 35. You want to listen to him because of what? He has done it now. He's a living example. We don't have many people that still play football at the age of 35 or past that. So we're hearing from those that said this is the reality of their business and career. Sure, you get what I'm saying? And that's where the conflict is. You only give attention to what is important to you. Sure, you get, and imagine I did another session saying how to make 1 million naira in 8 hours. If you made a mistake, I imagine the session was 8 p.m., right? If you came in by 8:02, there will be no space for you to join this session. Imagine Bill Gates came here and said, imagine I was Bill Gates and I said, oh, I'm doing a session for ASADS by 8 p.m., how to make $1 million in 1 hour. The session will be filled. Why? Because it's Bill Gates that is talking one. And he's telling you how to make $1 million in 1 hour. You want to get it. What am I trying to say? You believe that Bill Gates has the knowledge and information to share to you based on finding balance. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not easy. You need to come up with a schedule, right? You need to plan yourself. Like when I was reading How to Wake Up, I didn't want to do overnight. From 5 a.m. to 9 p.m., I have to take breaks 1 hour. You have to create a system around yourself to achieve all of these things. So please, don't just take everything I've said. What I just said was to sow a seed in your heart and your spirit. You still need to go back and do some work so that you can improve on those areas and do better. All right, so do we have any question? If you have any question, can you raise your hand? I'll just take 1 or 2 questions so that we can wrap up because I have another meeting in 20 minutes. Does anyone have any question? Can you raise your hand if you have any question? No questions? All right, so it's either I did well or I did bad when there's no question. All right. Okay, on that note, we're done. Thank you so much for your time, guys. I wish you guys all the best in your endeavor. Please do not, there's the power of God. Pray to God, whether you're a Christian or you're Muslim, pray to God, believe in God. But God also wants us to carry the spirit of excellence. We have so many characters, even in the Bible. Look at the character of Daniel, that he just had wisdom, right? There's a place when you are excellent at your work. Even when the favor comes, you sabi do the work, right? Even when you have enemies, the question is, can Fumilayo do the work? Can Esther do the work? Can Awa do the work? It gets to a place that your enemies cannot deny, no matter all of us. I'm a Ronaldo fan. I cannot deny the fact that Messi is good. I might not say it, right? Or the way people are saying Burna Boy does not. You know say this person sabi, even if you will not say it with your mouth. You can't hate greatness. You can't hate success. You can't. But there's a price to pay. There is a price to pay. And the results will be there. As you can see, you are paying the price that is letting your health be at that level. You are paying the price that is letting your finance be at that level. You get. Are you buying financial books? Are you reading it? Are you applying it? Are you paying for classes? Like I said, this session now is worth like 500K. You just got it like this. I paid money to learn. Paid about 370 that year to learn this thing. Do you get? But what are you going to do with this? How are you going? I want you to do this wheel of life from time to time. Do it from time to time and check yourself. All right, guys. So thank you so much. It's on YouTube. Just click the link. You can go back and watch it. And I wish you guys all the best. Be so good at your work that even if people hate you, they should be able to call you that, no, Grace, she's good at this thing. This person is good at this thing. And you will go far in life. If you are good at it, nobody will see you do success. Especially if the person is evil. You can't be so good at your work that people are planning evil. Like somebody will defend you. Nah, there's a lie. This person sabi do this thing. All right, guys. So thank you so much. I thank you so much for giving me your time, and I wish you guys all the best. Please, if you have the power to make life easy for other people, please do it. Give knowledge, share your experience. Don't feel like you don't know anything. I would even say that, Iyanu, please, can you do master class for us? We don't mind even if we pay you 10K. Iyanu, can we come and so you can teach us how we can be between 7 to 10 on our wheel of life?
I really will.
Eh?
Except I think about it too.
Okay, you think about it. All right, no problem, guys. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much for your time, guys. Good night.